Welcome to Frank Ranks Week 10. We're going to talk about 9 comics from Marvel, DC, and the Independents. Let's see who ends up on the number 1 spot. All right? Stay tuned, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I'm your host, Frank Zanca. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, we're going to talk about some comics, 9 of them, in fact, and we'll see how they rank. How Frank ranks. I couldn't resist it anyway. But yeah, we got some good stuff, we got some mediocre stuff, and we got some just plain bad stuff. But remember to give me a like, give me a subscribe, and share this video out there. Ring that bell ding ding as well. And if you'd like to read anything that I've written, you can just check out Amazon.com and type my name in, Frank Zanca. You'll see my novels and my graphic novels, my sci-fi quadrilogy, Destiny Aurora, that was also made into a board game, an RPG. It's also on Audible, and these are all on Kindle. My fantasy book, Tales of Ravenor, The Iron Witch. My horror book, The Awakening. I'm also working on, I also have a biography, a Holocaust biography called Escape from Berlin. And I have a superhero, novelette. It's only 250 pages, something like that. Which is Shadow Raven, which is the character that's also, it was a comic book I wrote in 95. That was also in Destiny Aurora, in the last book of Destiny Aurora, that character appears. I'm also working on a new book called Battle for the Ruby Slippers, and I am working on a new comic. I got some artwork in just now that I need to go look at, and that's called Fairy Tales of Terror. It's all going to be awesome. All right, so let's jump into, before we start, I just want to let you know, I'm just getting back from the movies. I went to see the Isaac Gonzalez movie, Ash, with Aaron Paul. And I was, and as everybody who's watching my channel knows, I have problems when people have put their cell phones on. I have to tell them to shut the damn things off. More times than not, I end up having fights with the people. One time I almost got arrested because I literally tapped the guy, and he's like, "He touched me!" And the cop's like, "You can't touch people." I'm like, I was just getting his attention, man. It wasn't like I belted him. But anyway, so if they could have pressed charges, and I could have gone to jail, I guess. I don't know. That's very strange. What are you in for? Well, I touched a guy to get his attention in a movie theater. Stupid. But anyway, I was late to get in there, and I like to go to the bathroom before I go into the actual theater. And this woman stops me and says, "Oh, it's my friend." I'm like, I don't know this lady at all. I must be going crazy because I don't recognize her at all. But anyway, she says, "Do you recognize me?" I'm like, And she's like, "Oh, you're a person that told me to shut off my phone." I'm like, no hard feelings. But anyway, she starts telling me, "Oh, we went to go see this movie, blah, blah." So I introduced myself and said, "Hey, I'm Frank." And she goes, "Oh, we got to be hugged," everything like this. She started to get, I'm like, I have to go, but I talked to her for a little while, but how random life is, man. How random. She's like, "Yeah, everybody told me you're a nice guy," because I'm friends with all the security over there. Life is just strange, man. All right, so let's get into Frank Rank. Some of these things that I'm going to review or rank, I read digitally. So it's just the stuff that I've read this week. All right? It may not be stuff that I actually own. All right? And number 10, I have anything that I just watched or just read digitally. I just have on little cards, of course. I guess I could put it here. Halo and Hornsby is number 9. So this is by Tomasi, I think. And I don't have anything to reference, so I don't know I think that's what it is, though. I think it's Peter J. Tomasi. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's about a young girl and a young boy. One is an angel, one is a devil, and they did the nature versus nurture situation where they gave the angel to a bad family and gave the demon to a good family they're now starting to exert their true selves, so that she's starting to get wings and a tail when she can transform, and so can he to a certain extent. They meet a sphinx, I guess, but he only has 2 legs and wings. Well, yeah, I guess sphinx has wings anyway. But he transforms into the bus driver and all this stuff, and they keep running from him, and he's like, "We're running again," and they get it and start driving the car, and he picks the car up. He says, "Stop running already! You guys are the saviors of the universe," or some stuff like that. But it's on issue 6 already. It's like going nowhere, man. I mean, for this to be them just running it's just these 3 characters in the whole issue. It's literally going nowhere. So I can see people's frustration with it. Because it's not that great a story to begin with. You could have done something with it, but it doesn't even sound like he's doing anything with it. So I don't even know. But anyway, it's number 9 because of that. And this kind of breaks my heart for number 8, because I was looking forward to this book. This is Last Boy. I'm a big Peter Pan fan. Peter Pan is in the Ruby Slippers one, and Hook is in both my new comic and the novel. And I felt bad for Hook here. Peter is portrayed as a complete dick at this. So I guess the pirates age, even though he doesn't. And the best parts of this is the stuff with Wendy, because that actually felt like Wendy. But here he's like, "I will get Hook for stealing your pelts." And Tiger Lily's like, "No, we made a deal. He paid for him." He's like, "I'm going to go kill him." And he gets to the ship, and these guys are all like 60, 70, 80 years old. And Hook is like pleading with him, like, "Dude, man, I paid for it. Just leave me alone, blah, blah." And he's like, "No, I'm going to kill you." It just got so ludicrous by the end. And he makes the 80-year-old fucking guy walk the plank and gets eaten. So he ends up killing Hook for no reason. The guy was like, "I paid for the things, but you know what? I'll just give it back if you just leave." This is horrible. This is horrible. Oh, man. Just really, the Dan Panosian, man. He's like, I can't understand how he thought that was good. It's not. All right. Number 7, and this is going to be a shock to a lot of people, including myself. Batman number 158, Hush 2, although I have seen a lot of other people give this a bad review. This is a bad comic. It's just bad. The artwork by Jim Lee is great. Nothing wrong with the art. But unfortunately, the story is just plain bad. First of all, it makes Batman look like a complete schmuck all the way through it. He literally turns towards the truck, but didn't he have like infrared or whatever photosensitive lenses in the mask or whatever? And he looks over it and then looks back, and the Joker jumps out and hits him with a crowbar or whatever. Hits him in the head with something. And, he gets thrown into the thing with piranhas, doesn't get out, he's got to get saved. And then when he gets saved, Talia just leaves him bleeding without even taking him to the hospital. What am I reading here? This is awful. Dick doesn't even know where to find him. Wouldn't he have a tracer or something like that the Bat family could find? But they're like, "Oh, we lost, thing with them. Oh, we'll just go to the Bat Cave." Yeah, of course he's going to be there. It's horrible. This is very, very bad. I'm going to get one more issue, and then if it doesn't shape up, I'm out of it. I'm out. All right, so 987, number 6, Popkill. So this is a very, very strange story. Premise, I should say. So the premise is that you have 2 brothers that were Siamese twins that owned two of the largest soda companies in the world, and they're constantly fighting against one another physically and emotionally. They're literally, their businesses are within, like, they have high rises, and the guy's writing like stick-it notes across so that I don't know why he just doesn't text him, but he's like, "Mama loves me best" or whatever else. These people are really weird, and they're sending out assassins and all this stuff. And this one woman created a formula so that soda doesn't go flat, so it has continued carbonation. And it's almost like the secret agent is there to give her an offer, and she doesn't really follow up, but she's getting shot at. It's got some good action to it. I like the dude. I like that the girl is just saying, "Go screw yourself." I liked all that, but it's just a weird premise. It's just a weird premise. Okay, so number 5, Green Lantern. So this is by my friend Jeremy Adams. In fact, I'm going to probably try to call him tomorrow. This is about the source ball. I'm not even kidding. It's a source ball, and don't squeeze it, I guess. So from the previous storyline, all of the power batteries have been destroyed except for the green one of Will, which is on Oa because it got moved from Earth. And because of that instability, other people on other planets, as long as they exude a amount of that emotion, they end up getting the powers of that source barrier, even though the source barrier doesn't exist. So they don't need rings or anything. And they can still wield perfect constructs, even though they've gone through no training or anything. So Hal was fighting this one guy of rage. I think he just died. I think he exploded or something. I don't know what the hell happened to him. Meanwhile, Carol's ex, who she left at the altar, has become Mr. Crybaby and exhibited now the thing of sorrow. So he is the sorrow lantern without a ring, and he makes other people cry. So Odyssey, who is I don't know how she got part of this team. I don't understand what she really lends to this team. I like the character, but I don't understand what she lends to the team. But anyway, she has the source ball, but sorrow makes her cry, so she gives it up. She just drops it. And meanwhile, you got this Grandmaster guy or whatever, Starbreaker or whatever else who can grow. He's fighting. And but anyway, so they end up getting the source ball and leaving as Hal shows up and they all fight and stuff like that. Anyway, it's an okay issue. It's still fun, but it's we got to rein back a little bit of the ludicrousy. Okay, so now we're on number 4. G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. So this one continues off. This is by Larry Hama, who wrote the original stuff back in the 80s. In fact, there was one new release one that's like all has no dialogue in it. I remember owning that that copy. So I'm probably gonna. It has a reprint coming out, and I'm probably gonna get it. But anyway, so I'd love to show that to you on my channel. But anyway, so this one is the continuation of the Baroness getting shot. It wasn't by Cobra Commander, but it was by his people. And he ends up, he barricades himself in the bunker. And Destro does everything he can to get into that bunker. And he finally does it. And he gets Cobra Commander as a hostage. And he said, "You better hope that my surgeons can save Baroness or I'm going to kill you." So he's like, "I didn't shoot her." He's like, "I don't care. It was under your orders. And you're going to take the heat for it no matter what." But anyway, he ends up saving Baroness. And now he's like, "What are you going to do with me now?" kind of thing. Meanwhile, the Joes get like arrested. And he's like, I don't like the way y'all look. So they get arrested by the cops. This is funny stuff. Anyway, it's a pretty fun book still. I like the fact that because Mindbender is still like a zombie. I didn't like the whole zombie thing. So I was originally collecting it, and then I stopped, and I picked it back up digitally. So, all right, number 3 is actually a Kickstarter book. And I usually don't like the Bad Bug comics because they're just way over the top. They're over-sexualized. And they're just putting the stuff out there to get the guys in the basement that just like nudity in their books. And that's all there is. But with this one, there's a little bit more to it. I like the look of the character, how she has like this one glowing eye. And it's a Western on top of that. And I like some of the flashback stuff that's in there about her, becoming a sharpshooter and all this other stuff. And the villain leads her. There's a book. There's like it's a supernatural Western, which, as you know, I did a film called Six Gun Savior. It was also a supernatural Western. So I kind of like those genres put together. But anyway, so it's against the barricaded in the door that the villain can't get into. So she needs, I guess, her DNA, her blood, or whatever else to get in the door, which he ends up getting, and he ends up getting the book. And now we don't know what's going to happen. Of course, I won't even know for like 6 months because these things come out maybe twice a year. I'm in the same boat too, where I can't get a book out but twice a year. But anyway, so this is number 4 already. Yeah, number 4. At least he's got to 4. I mean, I've gotten to 6 before with Destiny Aurora, but I've never gotten anywhere but beyond 6. So I would love to be able to do an ongoing book through Kickstarter. Just haven't been able to crack that code yet. But Bad Bug, they release a lot of stuff, and most of the stuff is crap. This is one of the better ones. All right, number 2, Wonder Woman Absolute. Not regular Wonder Woman by Tom King. So, the original artist, I forgot his name, it'll come to me, but the original artist I do not like in the least. The art in the previous issues is complete garbage as far as I'm concerned. It's very, very amateur. There's no detail to it. In some cases, the lines don't even make much sense. Stuff to that effect. It's just very, very sketchy, very, very stylized, and it doesn't hit me at all. However, we got a new artist on here. I'm hoping that he's on here for quite a while, although I think that his stuff probably takes some time where he can't do a monthly book. But that's not even the story here, because the story here makes no sense. Because it's the origin of the Red Lasso, which we've already seen in the last one, that what's-her-face created, Cersei created, because she had seen the future and knew that Diana needed it. So she had no idea that she was even creating this. She just handed it to her and said, you're going to need this. Now with this one, she has other lassos. Suddenly, they just appeared. I don't even know, so this is as if Kelly Thompson, who was the writer on this, decided, hey, I'm just going to forget everything that happened in the previous issues. I'm just going to write something new. And that's how I felt, because there's no continuity between this book and the other books, besides the fact that she got sucked down into Hades. And I do not like the way that Hades is portrayed here at all, as far as his physical depiction. I heard that, Wes over at Thinking Critical praised it. I didn't like it. He looks like just like a glowing thing of goo with like a crown, just 3 lines on top of his head. I don't like it at all. There's so many ways to portray Hades without just making him a glowing blue goo. But the whole thing with Prometheus is really good. The fight with the basilisk is really good. So it's not the stories, it's the artwork I'm propelling this into number 2 on. It's a beautiful, beautiful book, and this is the way that it should have been betrayed or portrayed from issue 1. But anyway, if you like Wonder Woman art, even though she doesn't really look like Wonder Woman with the new costume, but she acts like Wonder Woman for the most part, and definitely I'd say pick this up for the art alone. All right, and number 1, and I'm so happy to say this, Superman. Joshua Williams I haven't collected Superman in a very long time. Jurgens is my favorite Superman writer, Dan Jurgens, and when he was doing when he had the kid, when he had Jonathan Kent Young, I thought that really all that worked, because Dan Jurgens, he was the one that started that whole thing. And then you had, I think it was Brian Michael Bendis that said, no, we can't have kids anymore. We need to have him be an adult. And he aged him up, and he destroyed everything that Jurgens did. Everything. And then he brought, God, I forgot his dad's name. What's something L? I forgot Jor-El. He made Jor-El not be dead and made him a villain. Oh my God. Bendis should be shot for what he did to that whole run. Just shot in the leg. Don't kill him. Just a little shot in the leg. But anyway, it was so bad. He ruined everything. So for Joshua Williams, because I whatever that started, I said, nope, I'm done. And I haven't collected Superman since. And so I picked this up when Josh Williamson started, and he's done a really, really good job of keeping this thing going. Now, the absolute power thing, I wish that had never happened. That was the biggest mistake, as far as I'm concerned, that DC could have done. Because it's fucked up Aquaman, because you got Jeremy giving mirror powers to Aquaman, which he shouldn't have. And here we gave Zod's powers to Lois, so Lois is Superwoman. And we have this scene in there where she's leading the charge, and it's very obvious that it should be Supergirl. Because Superwoman and Supergirl are congruous. You don't need, they're the same person for the most part. There's nothing differentiating a Supergirl from Superwoman except for their hair color. And the fact that one's a reporter. That's it. So this needs to end. This whole thing, because absolute power has been over for a long time. We should just get rid of it already. Have Lois return, bring Supergirl back if you need her, and that's it. You know, I would have rather seen Supergirl in this issue than Lois. There's no reason to have Lois have powers at this point. Let's just bring Zod in, have that battle, give Zod back his powers, and put everything back to normal. Because right now it just doesn't even feel right anymore. But we have a nice turnaround with Mercy, and I like the stuff with Lex. There's just a really lot of good stuff in this issue. I liked it a lot. I love the fact that Mercy's like, we have to turn a profit, right? And Superman's like, profit? What's that? No, let's just keep going until we can't pay the bills anymore. It does make Superman look pretty idiotic that he doesn't know how to run a business. I mean, I can understand his part that, hey, I don't want weapons technology. I understand that. But the way that it was written, it made him look like, nah, man, we don't need to turn a profit. Instead of saying, well, let's just go sell Superman figures or something like that, kind of like what they did for the Wonder Woman TV show back that never aired. And, they did with Fantastic Four, did that also, where they were selling merch. Instead of giving them an option about what else they can sell, he says, nah, man, nah. But overall, this is a really good run. Again, having collected Superman in such a long time, the artwork is great. Dan Moore is not on this one, and it's still good. But anyway, that's it for me. That would be number 1. Yes, thank you for Superman. All right, so thank you guys for watching so much. I appreciate it. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you can. Subscribe too. Ring that bell, ding ding, and share this video out there so people can see what's going on in the comic world. And I will see you guys on next episode. Remember to jump into Amazon.com and type my name in there if you want to see some stuff that I've written. You can make fun of me as well. Feel free. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. You guys have an awesome week. All right, bye-bye.